Caden Ty Routolo. So, I mean, where are you guys at with this? These are twin brothers, and it's very relevant. But I don't know how relevant it is. I'll give you an example. Way back in 1995, Oscar and Isaac Wood both won Fargo Junior National Championship, and it got announced this is the first brothers to win in the same year that aren't twins. And it just stands out with me like, what difference does it make to you guys? Like, what do you think about that? There seems to always be a power when you have a twin if somebody knows how to use that correctly. But what difference does it make? You have two guys that go into the same field, because now you're talking about having a workout partner. Now you're talking about somewhere in the family, right? I mean, if you've got a sibling, if you become really good at something, mom and dad, they've only got so much time. There's only so much room in a back seat. It's highly likely that they're taking you to the same place. And it would be highly uncomfortable if one of the two excelled at a rapidly different rate. So then when you end up with the brothers, what do? These guys are twins. These guys are both black belts. These guys are both in San Diego. These guys are both under Alger Galvo. These guys are both now in one championship. These guys both have incredible wins. Ty submitted Gary Tonnen in 2 minutes, for goodness sake. I mean, right? These are impressive guys. This is what Ty did. Cade's the world champion. If you guys are big wrestling fans, then you'll understand. But we went through something called the Peterson brothers, and then that passed over to the Bannock brothers. That went to the Schultz brothers. More recently, you got the Askren boys, but in between, you had the Brands. And the Brands were a problem from a marketing standpoint. I mean, they were going to steal a lot of the energy. The loudest reception and the most people coming out to watch somebody compete, where the referee has to look the closest and the opponents want to step on the mat the least, is going to go to the Brands boys. Now you got two of them. I mean, it was trouble times two, and this went all of the way through. This goes all the way through until they leave the competitive ranks and they go into the coaching ranks, but they decide that they're going to coach together. So now they both together are producing national champions. They're both together in the corner. They're both together hired by the University of Iowa. It's one of these spots that if you know how to use it and you steer right along with it and you don't have a big problem, but I see some people that don't want to interfere with that. The Mannings, right? The Mannings got two that make it to the NFL and another boy that doesn't make it to the NFL. And we think as a public that could be rude to bring up. I agree. I see the sensitivity in that. But there could be a very meaningful reason. Possibly the one that didn't make it to the event wasn't as interested in football. I don't know if that's the case, but I don't know that it's not. It's one of these things that hasn't totally been talked about. So then when somebody decides that they're going to tell the story of the Routolo brothers and their twins and Andre Galvo and black belts at 18 and Abu Dhabi and off to one championship, when somebody's going to tell the story, that prick can't help himself but to ask, what happens when you go at it? Who wins when you two go at it? Like, this can't be helped. I can take this back to the Dave and the Mark Schultz, where people will still discuss that. I can take it back to a beautiful piece that the Big Ten Network made less than 2 years ago on Tom and Terry Brands. And not only did they ask the question, they tried to end it with like a tease where these two walk on the mat and they square up for the first time. It's one of these things. Why do you have to do that? Why do you have to know who wins between them? If they're not going to go the same weight class, why do we have to ask that? Why do we have to get to the bottom of who wins between Islam and Khabib? Why? It seems as though they figured it out. I know the Brandses did. They both have national championships in the same years. They both have world championships. They both have Olympic gold medals. They went different weight classes. That's how they solved the problem. Why would you ask them about it? Truly, why? Like, what kind of problem are you trying to create? You have Mark Schultz. You have Dave Schultz. Mark was the younger brother. His brother appeared to be teaching him. Mark then went on and had more gold medals than the brother. But isn't that a beautiful sign to the brother? Isn't that a tribute? Aren't we all good here? I would feel that way. I saw Islam get asked over the weekend. Islam Makhachev gets asked over the weekend. What would happen if he wanted a belt and Khabib had it? And Islam was prepared for this question and had a very cute answer that got a left and they left it alone. He said, if Khabib had the belt and I wanted it, I would go over to Khabib's house and take it. I know where he stores them. That was the answer. And he was able to be off the hook. But why do we have to get to the bottom of that? Why can't we just appreciate it? Why can't appreciate that they're helping each other? Why can't we appreciate that Khabib's time came and as soon as it was over, Khabib's up here in the loft and he instantly throws the ladder down so that Islam can come up it. And he's going to help him, but in a different role. He's going to help him from the corner. He's going to help him in the training room. He's going to help him cut weight the day before. Why can't that be appreciated? Why do we have to know between Ty and Cade? Why do they have to say it? Why do we badger these two as a way of like tearing them apart? How come we can't just appreciate it? How come we can't say they're twins? How come we can't just acknowledge that they had the same goal? That mom and dad only had one back seat and they took them to the same place and they both got black belts. They've both got impressive wins. Why can't we do that? By the way, if you've ever seen Cade and Ty work out, what'd that look like? Asking for a friend.